Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Was that the one with him and Juliette Lewis was the daughter?
Which they were in
Christmas Vacation.
I think so.
I never saw
remember.
Vegas Vacation.
Vegas is good.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you what. None of those movies hold up for me.
Oh, I said that a while ago that we watched Christmas Vacation. It was a while ago, and I'm watching it, and I don't know that Gwen had seen it, and I just remembered loving that movie so much, and I go, wow, this movie is awful.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen them in a long time. I remember Vegas Vacation I always liked a lot more. I always had a lot of fun with Vegas Vacation.
I liked the very first one. The European one was okay, but I
never saw that one.
remembered Christmas Vacation at the time, because I think I was still in high school. Like, it got good reviews. People thought it was funny. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was the foxy neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
And
we always, my aunt...
Boy, that movie did not hold up.
My aunt will, her go-to quote will be, "The blessing!" She'll do that all the time. It makes me laugh.
Right, but it's like those moments, and it becomes funny because it's part of, like, your family.
Yeah.
But then when you watch it again, you're like, well, that really wasn't that great.
No.
I don't know.
Like,
I'll have to watch it again.
I think I watched it, like, 2 years ago, and I was like, I can't even sit still. This movie's so bad.
Huh.
And I also
the
always...
The first one holds up a little bit because you get to see Beverly D'Angelo's boobs.
Yes.
And
when they go to Wally World?
Yeah.
Huh.
That one's the best one to me, but the rest
That's just
of them,
called Vacation.
Yeah, that one's...
National Lampoon's Vacation.
Anthony Michael Hall and the girl that died, and the daughter died, I think. That's why they switched the actress. But
and also they were like 30 by the time they came out with the next one.
True. Yeah, because a different kid played Rusty in Europe.
Well, because Anthony Michael Hall was like a real nerdy kid, but then when he grew up, he's like 6'2" and like pretty like built guy.
But he also blew up too, so he started doing his own movies, Weird Science and 16 Candles.
Yeah.
Right, but like I'm talking about like if you get into what's it called?
Puberty?
Sorry. What's the movie? Edward Scissorhands. He's the bad guy in that.
Who is?
Anthony Michael Hall.
Am I thinking of the right person?
Is?
Yes.
Is he the dork in Breakfast Club?
He is. But then he got...
The bad guy. I thought Vincent Price was the bad guy in Edward Scissorhands.
No, he's like...
You're thinking Thriller, the song.
The boyfriend of Winona Ryder that she breaks up with, and then he like locks Edward Scissorhands in the house and sets the alarm off and like frames him to get in trouble.
I remember Edward Scissorhands making me very uncomfortable to watch that movie. Very, very uncomfortable.
It's a very weird movie.
Because he was silent and he was bullied the whole time, and there was something about that.
And then it's
really
a school shooter type movie,
yes.
like basically. And then he gets revenge on everybody by killing Anthony Michael Hall. He stabs with the scissor hands.
That's right.
Are you sure?
They should have called it Edward Murder Hands, but I think that probably would have affected their box office. I felt far less uncomfortable when Edward Penis Hands came out on VHS. That was a very enjoyable experience.
I never saw that one.
How about Edward 40 Hands? That's no fun either.
I played that game. I have played that game.
I did not like that at all.
It's a dumb game.
Anyway, I mention all of this stuff because Johnny Galecki is executive producing a Griswold television show for HBO Max, which I guess is going to roll out in the spring because all the heads of industry in Hollywood said, feel like we're a little short on streaming services. We need another one. So HBO Max is going to be rolling out, and they're going to do a half-hour comedy called The Griswolds about what happens when they come home from vacation.
Just their day-to-day.
So they figured, hey, let's take the best parts of the movies and suck all that out. You know, like a food dehydrator?
Yeah.
For some reason is a great idea to people. They go, let's take the stuff that's the most delicious and take that out.
You don't like jerky?
And then you'll be left with a husk. I'm talking about people that do like fruit. These commercials that want to sell you a dehydrator.
I love me some fruit leather.
They show. I
How
do too.
dare you?
But they show you dehydrating everything like that's a great thing, and they're like, you could dehydrate anything. You know.
I love a dehydrated strawberry.
It's dust.
They have
those are
in,
99% water.
K.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had anybody
Right,
dehydrate
I don't like
for me.
it as a dehydrated strawberry. I like it when you make the fruit leather. That's great. Like a real natural fruit roll-up.
My friend,
love it.
But those are not dehydrated.
Yes, they are.
No, because those have moisture in them. Because you need moisture as a bonding agent in those.
But that's how you make it is by dehydrating it.
I don't know.
Listen, we made them a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's we?
My family.
Okay.
Squire
easy.
clan.
Jeez. My friend made her own baby food for a long time and would use that kind of stuff.
My mom did that when we were little. When I got a little bit older, I go, what is it? She goes, food grinder for the baby food. We had full plans on doing that at Casa Cox, which I had all the machinery and all the stuff. It's so labor intensive. I was like, we never got around to it. But you'll notice if you go to Target or a store like that, the racks that have dehydrated fruit, always full. Because nobody's buying them. There are no empty pins of dehydrated fruit. Because people are like, why do I want a handful of strawberry dust when I could go 2 aisles over and get some plump, delicious strawberries?
Maybe they're out of season and they're not as
Strawberries
good.
are never out of season.
Or maybe there's always when you get to fresh strawberries, there's always that one that you look at and it's like got spider webs or something all over. It's all moldy and
yes.
mossy.
Spider webs.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
That's
How is your immune system going to fight off disease if you never test it, Bill? You're supposed to eat the moldy, spider-bitten strawberries.
I'm not taking
Okay.
fresh penicillin strawberries.
Polar blast punishment. You have to eat a whole case of strawberries with spider webs on them.
Punishment? That implies I don't already love it. I just told you I already love
You
it.
freak.
Yeah, punishment. Come on.
Hand is itchy today.
Are you
Doesn't
okay?
that mean you're going to get money?
Wasn't your other hand bleeding yesterday, and now the other
Just my
hand's itchy?
cuticle.
Oh.
That's a wives' tale, I think. When your palm itches, you're going to get money.
No, if it is, it's stupid.
I'm not saying it's real, but that's one of the, like when your ears are ringing, someone's talking about you. I think that's a real thing when you're.
By the way, I like to meet all these old wives who everybody
telling their tales.
Well, but look at it this way. An old wives' tale means something that has lasted so long that it is still common knowledge to some degree, right? Like a parable or like a proverb. And you got to think, who were these women at the time who were considered so great that they were like, oh, God, I got to write that down and I got to pass it on to my children and their children and their children because
some say itchy palms are a sign of greed.
Does it say anything about what hairy palms are a sign of?
Others say if your palm itches, it means there's going to be money in your future. An itchy left palm is a sign that money's coming in. An itchy right palm, which is what I have, is a sign that money will be flowing out.
Yeah, I got an itchy ass right now from all this talk about itchy palms.
What is that? What's flowing in or out of that?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Is it money?
It's not money.
Roll a quarter?
No. I'm just happy to see you. So anyway, they're bringing the Griswolds over to HBO Max, courtesy of one Johnny Galecki. That's the other problem with having a wildly successful television show, is you end up with all this money, and then you never have to really work again, so you just do what you want to do. And they go to Galecki and they go, anything you want to do? And he's like, I mean, I was on Roseanne for a minute, and, he fell ass backwards into Big Bang Theory.
Which one is he?
He's Leonard. The main dude, right? And he's actually a good-looking dude.
He was on Roseanne for a minute.
Yeah, he was way back in the day. He was on originally, and then he came back for the thing. Johnny Galecki's not a bad-looking guy.
No.
He's like 2 feet tall, but they nerd him up for that show. But he's an okay-looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's married to some hottie because he's rich and, whatever.
Yeah. He's starring in it, or he's just writing
He's
it?
executive producing. I don't know who's in it or whatever. But
who would you like to see as Clark?
They did. I got to tell you, I don't know. I just always liked Chevy Chase better as the smartass. I liked him in Caddyshack. Love Fletch. When he played a buffoon, I didn't enjoy it as much.
It's the same thing with Steve Martin, where Steve Martin's the weird guy or the smartass or someone that's kind of devious. Like, he's hilarious. But when he's just a stressed out dad, like Father the Bride, I'm like,
I like that.
Enough of that. No, it's so annoying.
It's
so one note.
It's very slapsticky.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's Steve Martin is slapsticky.
No,
I feel like
he is slapsticky.
Even in his comedy.
But the whole dad just, I can't believe my daughter's getting married at the age where daughters get married. It's freaking me out.
And not in the 80s. People didn't get married when they were 22 and like.
Did you just say not in the 80s?
This is all right.
Am I backwards?
Yes.
Yeah.
People were getting married at 12 in the 1780s. What are you talking about?
1780s.
In the 80s, everybody waited till they were 30.
Did they?
No.
They
That's
got
my
married
point.
At 20, 21.
Okay, listen. I know that I'm like the smartest person on the show, and
You weren't even alive
I was just
in
gonna
the
say,
80s.
I
She
like
was
talking
barely
about
alive.
things that I have no idea what I'm talking about. So thank you. For
That's never stopped any of us. That's not my
a
complaint.
time frame when I wasn't even around.
I'm simply saying nothing was different. There were still teen moms in the 80s.
I hate when kids these days say, "Oh, take me back to the '90s." I'm like, "When were you born?" 97. I'm like, "Get out of here!"
Yeah, but maybe they liked being, a lot of people have affection for when they were little.
Real
If they could,
90s babies are like 91 to 93. We remember the 90s.
89, baby.
Yeah, and I really remember the 90s because I was 22. So,
What was
you
that
know.
like?
Damn, you old.
Yeah, I was. I was coming out of college in the early 90s. Hey, let me give you a shot here at $1 million, right? You don't need to be getting syndication money off of some crazy long run on a sitcom or whatever. You can just fall into it. So one person's going to get the million, so good luck.
Your shot at $1 million now.
Text the nationwide keyword WIN to the number 200-200. That's WIN to the number 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info, and standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's WIN to the number 200-200. Good luck from 100.7 WMMS.
Yeah, Chevy Chase and Community. Again, a
thought
fat,
he was
gray
funny in that.
Chevy Chase throws me off, boy.
That's who he is now.
freaks. I know, but it freaks me out. I don't like looking at him like
I like
that.
how they used him on that show. I thought that was a very funny show.
Couldn't get into that show.
Loved it.
I've tried. It's exactly the kind of show that I should love, and I could not get into it.
I liked it. I
At
never
all.
watched it all the way through, but there was a summer where I was hanging out with a certain group of people who watched it all the time, and I
So
would
you
watch
caught
it
a lot
when we
of
were
episodes, yeah.
when we were together. But I never watched it on my own. I enjoyed it.
Where the Russo brothers got their start. They were
Yeah, there you go.
They did a bunch of episodes of that. They did a bunch of writing and directing on that show, and then they ended up doing The Winter Soldier, and now they've made the biggest movies ever.
I thought that main character was so hot. What's his name? Joel McHale.
Joel McHale, yeah.
I was like, I like him.
Yeah, that was the idea.
Yeah.
They wanted somebody that you could get all creamy over.
But then just like the girls were really funny. Allison Brie and what's the girls? The blonde girls. She's got a weird name.
Gillian
Yes,
something.
Jacobs. She's really funny. And then Yvette Nicole Brown from Cleveland.
I know.
Hey.
Yeah.
WZIP alum.
Hey!
Hey!
Sat in the same chair I sat in.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
I actually-
Did she do commercials like you did?
Lunchtime at Mr. Zubs.
I'm sure she was a little better. But, I mean, she came back and spoke to our class.
That's so cool.
What'd she say? I'm on Community.
I mean, she gave
Was
like
this
an
pre-Community?
entire-
She's been in a
No, she
ton
was on.
of shows.
She was on Community at that time.
She's on an episode of The Office.
But I didn't know her from Community. I knew her from the
Stables.
movie theater manager on Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Drake and Josh.
That's what I remembered her from.
That was after me. I was too old to be watching. That wasn't my Disney Channel.
Yeah,
That
I was
show-
right on time.
My
Yeah.
kids watched Drake
Yeah,
and
my
Josh.
kids watched that too, and the show was ending as they started watching it, so they'd watch it, and that's one of those shows that was on constantly on Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, whichever one it was on.
Because it was a funny show for kids. Like, it was really
No,
funny.
I watched a few episodes, and I was like, okay, I see what they're doing here. But then, which one was it? Josh he was the
Jacked.
fat one, and
No,
they got
yeah,
skinny.
yeah.
And then you're like, well, this show's not the same.
Not as fun.
Not as fun. Doesn't work as well.
And he has a lot of extra skin. Like, he didn't, like, I don't know. No, I don't know if he
That's
got
what
I don't think he
happens.
does.
Well, I don't know if he got weight
He
loss
doesn't,
surgery.
no.
Yes, he does. Have you ever
Not
seen?
now,
No.
because he got shredded and he started doing movies like indie films.
It,
so
it
he
still looks kind of saggy.
Well, I'm
So-
not paying that close attention to his
so
midsection.
I don't know if it's like he got the weight loss surgery or
Because
if
he was
did it
never
lost
that big, and he was young enough that he would have snapped back.
You would think, but if
I
you
don't think
if you
he's
get the
got
weight
that.
loss surgery,
I don't
then
think he
you
got
still.
the surgery.
The kid wasn't 700 pounds.
I
He
saw
was 40
pictures.
pounds overweight.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just worked out and lost weight.
What's his name?
Josh Peck.
Josh Peck. Look at Google pictures of his extra skin, and you can see it.
Josh Peck extra skin.
I'm telling you, because I think he shared something like that, and he did like this, and it was just like a bat wing.
No, you were probably 12
Okay.
when you remembered
Oh
it.
no! If you have a little side meat, I get that. But when somebody says extra skin that you need surgery for, you're talking about a skin apron, I believe is actually
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
call it. When
I
you
think
lose so
about-
much weight so quickly that your skin, you got to chop all that off.
I think about that with my dad. If he keeps losing weight, if he'll have to get it, because you'll see that on like my 600-pound life, where they'll lose another 100 pounds of skin once they cut all the extra off and stuff like that. I mean, he's only down 25 pounds. I'm like, if he keeps going, go have a little. It's gross. You hide stuff under there. Or,
Yeah,
and
you
your
just
skin
have to-
is the largest organ.
It's
in
like
your
a
body,
kangaroo.
too. He's got a
Yeah.
huge
You got
organ.
a pouch.
Stop.
You're dead.
Stop.
Mm.
Gross.
Yeah, he didn't have that like crazy where you get like the you get the skin removed and then
You
they
can,
get
like,
like
pull it up
elephant
over your
ears. I think
head.
they call it because I think I saw that on one of those MTV documentary shows back in the day.
Well, now you've ruined carnival snacks for me
You're
forever,
welcome.
Bill. Thanks.
Do love an elephant ear. Elephant ear or funnel cake?
Imagine if
He
you
was
like,
on.
difference.
He was. Stephen Canton just reminded me. Josh Peck was on a show with John Stamos. Anybody watch Grandfathered?
No.
It was on one season, I think, and I thought it was funny, but nobody watched it. John Stamos is like this single dude, runs a restaurant in L.A., finds out that he's a grandfather because he had an illegitimate kid he didn't know about. The kid shows up with his baby. And so the sitcom, the conceit is that, like, I'm too young to be a grandfather.
I'm too cool and hot.
But he was well written, and Josh Peck was his illegitimate kid who shows up. Yeah,
Kind of cool.
it was funny, but I don't think anybody watched it but me. So I before the show, I thought for sure that Bill would have gotten Dave Chappelle tickets. I go, hey, did you get Dave Chappelle tickets? I went to get Dave Chappelle tickets this morning, right? I don't have any connections. I don't know people. So I get on like every other putz. 10 o'clock, these were going to go on sale.
Immediately.
First of all, the
I
Playhouse
also
Square
had an alarm
website
set.
crashes immediately, right? Get tickets. Click. Nothing. And I think Bill and I both got to the point where, like, we had tickets in a cart.
Click away.
One click away, and the website crashed. You go back to it in like 25 minutes. The entire show is sold out.
Yeah.
At the Connor Palace Theater on the 30th of this month.
I was even willing to just get one ticket just to get in there. So like so one time I had 2 tickets and then it crashed, and then another time I had 1 ticket, and that got that like 3 or 4 times, and then every time it would crash when I go to check out.
Because I was going to drop some coin because I was like, I don't want to be in the balcony for Chappelle.
You want to sit
I was about to
upfront.
spend almost $500.
That's right.
For good seats.
So I figure, well, those will be the ones that will last longer. Nope, they were all gone.
Nope.
I'm
But there are
probably-
plenty of tickets available
When's the last time?
for Bill Squire's Chris McClung.
Hey, it's the night before.
Go-
If you got shut out of Dave Chappelle, back your schedule up 24 hours. Go see Chris McCwanzika.
And you don't have
more
to-
for your money, quite frankly.
And you don't have to put your phone in a purse that you don't have the key to.
Not only that, but Playhouse Square, I implore you, for the love of the sweet baby Jesus, why are you making me create an account to buy tickets? Just let me buy the tickets. I got to one point, I would keep refreshing, and it would take me to a different point in the transaction. And so I'm like, ooh,
Rookie.
I'm almost there. What?
Come on. You got to know the system, though.
What system?
Playhouse Square.
Yeah, but
I had
how
my
often
tickets
is
ready
he
to go.
buying Playhouse Square tickets?
I buy Playhouse Square tickets once or twice a year.
What does that have to do with the password and the username?
I'm saying you should have your stuff logged in already.
I didn't know that I needed that.
Well, I'm just saying.
But again,
now we both got shut out, so it doesn't really matter.
It's beside the point.
But come
Don't
on.
make people, because you're just doing that so you can email me things,
Yes.
right? It's not improving the experience at all. Don't make me create an account. A lot of times it'll say, check out as guest.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
all seen that. Nothing like that. I'm like, Playhouse Square, I already get your goddamn emails. So if you already have my email address, why do I have to jump? Whatever. It wouldn't have mattered anyway, I'm sure.
Right, 'cause
But
I have the
it was just
account, and I
frustrating.
still didn't get
yeah,
through.
it was just frustrating.
So anybody that got Dave Chappelle tickets, you're lucky.
Take me on a
Lucky,
date.
lucky
I want to
boy.
come with you.
And when is
And
it?
throw that in
It's
the
the
universe.
30th.
December 30th.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
And we saw him last time he came through. I've seen him a handful of
never
times.
seen him live.
Really?
I've met him and never seen him do stand-up.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest thing.
You've
Yeah.
never seen him?
I've never seen him
either, yeah.
live. I
Really?
have sat at a table with him and talked to him for a good 15 minutes, and then never seen him actually perform stand-up. And I would trade those two in a second.
I saw him.
No,
I
wouldn't.
sat in the front row and watched him sit on a stool and smoke and do 2 hours and 45 minutes at the Pittsburgh Improv.
I'm into that. I
About
would love to
15
see
years
that.
ago. He just announced a show.
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah.
does. He just shows up.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'm going to be there tomorrow. And everyone's like, done, sold.
Yeah.
God, that's crazy. I saw Brian Regan last night. I know we got to go to a break. We can talk about it next. But, man, you want to talk about one of the greats.
Brian Regan.
God, he's so good.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That was probably sold out too. The Masonic.
No, it was close, but it was not sold out.
Not enough Mormons in town.
Not enough Mormons in town.
Oh, okay. That guy does like a month every year in Salt Lake City.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. All right, let me break out those Magic of Lights passes for you a little bit later on. You want to pack the fam in the Wagoneer and get them through the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds. They do an amazing job over there with the Magic of Lights every year. It goes through January 4th. If you want to text 35192, if you want to call us, last day to do it, since we won't be taking calls for the anniversary show on Monday, 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.